Well, if you ever go back in the Wooley swamp, well, you better not go at night. There's things out there in the middle of them woods make a strong man die for fright. Things that crawl, things that fly, things that creep around on the ground. Say the ghost of Lucius Clay gets up and he walks around, but I couldn't believe it. Just had to find out for myself, and I couldn't conceive it. Never would listen to nobody else, and I couldn't believe it. Just had to find out for myself. There's some things in this world you just can't explain. Old man lived out in the Wooley swamp way back in the Booger Woods. Never did a lot of harm in the world, but he never did do no good. People didn't think too much of him. They all thought he acted funny. Old man didn't care about people anyway. All he cared about was his money. Stuff it all down in the mason jars and he buried it all around. On certain nights when the moon was right, he dig it up out of the ground. Spread it all out on the floor of his shack and run his fingers through it. Yeah, Lucius Clay was a greedy old man, that's all there ever was to it. But I couldn't believe it. Just had to find out for myself, and I couldn't conceive it. Never would listen to nobody else, and I couldn't believe it. Just had to find out for myself. There's some things in this world you just can't explain. Caleb Moore's a white trash, live on Carver Street. When they speak. One night the oldest brother said, y'all meet me in the Wooley swamp later. We'll take old Lucius' money. We'll feed him to the alligators. Well, they found the old man out in the back with a shovel in his hand. 13 rusty mason jars he just dug up out of the sand. And they all went crazy and they beat the old man. They picked him up off the ground. Threw him in the swamp, stood there and laughed as the black water sucked him down. Turned around, went back to the shack, picked up the money and ran. Didn't go nowhere, they realized they were running in quicksand. And they struggled in the stream and they couldn't get away, and just before they went under, you could hear that old man laughing in a voice as loud as thunder. It's been 50 years ago, you can go by there yet. In the yard in the back of that shack where the ground is always wet. And on certain nights when the moon was right, down by that dark wood path, you hear 3 young men screaming. You can hear one old man laugh. If you ever go back in the Wooley swamp, well, you better not go at night. There's things out there in the middle of them woods like a strong man die for fright. Things that crawl, things that fly, things that creep around on the ground. Say the ghost of Lucius Clay gets up and he walks around, but I couldn't believe it. Just had to find out for myself, and I couldn't conceive it. Never would listen to nobody else, and I couldn't believe it.